J.K. Rowling was stuck. The final Harry Potter book would not move forward. She had the ideas, the time, a home office, but the words would not come, so she checked into the Balmoral Hotel in Edinburgh and stayed there just to write. Hundreds of dollars a night, not for luxury, for focus. And neuroscience now explains exactly why that worked. Most people believe focus comes from discipline. It does not. Discipline fades, willpower drains, and by mid-afternoon, most people are trying to solve difficult problems with an exhausted brain. The people producing extraordinary work do not rely on motivation, they rely on systems. Systems that make deep work automatic instead of optional. And in the next few minutes, you'll see the exact operating structure used by writers, scientists, entrepreneurs, and creators who consistently produce at a high level without burning out. Psychologist Roy Baumeister discovered something important about self-control. Willpower behaves like a battery. Every decision drains it. Every notification, every email, every interruption, every moment you resist distraction. By the middle of the day, the battery is already depleted. Then people expect themselves to sit down and focus deeply for hours. That is why willpower-based productivity collapses long-term. Not because you are lazy, because the strategy itself is flawed. The productive people you admire are not winning through constant self-control. They are winning because they built environments and routines that reduce the need for self-control entirely. The system carries the behavior, not motivation. Cal Newport describes 4 major approaches to deep work: monastic, bimodal, rhythmic, and journalistic. The monastic approach removes almost everything shallow. Very few people can live this way. The bimodal approach alternates between periods of intense focus and periods of normal life. Carl Jung used this by separating city life from isolated retreat. The rhythmic approach is what works for most people. Same time, same place, every day. Consistency turns focus into habit. Jerry Seinfeld used this with a simple calendar and one rule: do not break the chain. The journalistic method is advanced. You switch into deep work whenever time appears unexpectedly. Most people should not begin there. The important thing is choosing one structure and committing to it long enough for it to become automatic. Then comes the real shift: ritual. A ritual means every important decision is made before the work begins. Where you work, when you begin, how long you stay, whether your phone exists in the room, what music plays, what rules apply. This matters because decisions consume mental energy. When the ritual repeats consistently, the brain begins associating specific environments and behaviors with concentration automatically. You stop negotiating with yourself. You simply enter the pattern. Charles Darwin walked the same routes at the same times for decades. Not because he lacked imagination, because routine protected his attention. Ritual transforms focus from effort into identity. Sometimes routine alone is not enough. Sometimes you need a psychological signal strong enough to break your normal behavior. That is what Rowling bought at the Balmoral Hotel: commitment. The grand gesture works because significant investment forces the brain to treat the task as important. Bill Gates used isolated think weeks. No meetings, no interruptions, just deep concentration. You do not need a luxury hotel. You can drive to a library, rent a quiet room, work somewhere unfamiliar. The goal is not comfort. The goal is psychological separation from your distracted environment, a signal to your mind that this time matters. Now comes the part most people skip: tracking. The best productivity systems measure inputs instead of outcomes. Do not measure books written or projects completed first. Measure hours of deep work. Because hours are controllable today, results arrive later. A visible scoreboard changes behavior. You begin competing with yourself. After several weeks, the scoreboard becomes part of your identity. You stop seeing yourself as someone trying to focus. You become someone who completes 3 hours of deep work every day. Consistency reshapes self-image, and self-image reshapes behavior. Then comes the most counterintuitive part. Stop working completely at the end of the day. No checking email, no mental review, no pretending to rest while secretly thinking about work. Real shutdown improves future performance. Research shows the unconscious mind continues processing difficult problems after work ends. Your attention also recovers through rest, and the truth is, most work done late at night is shallow anyway.